Hi there, it's Jennifer Trask, and in today's blog, we are talking about how playing the long-term game helps you win in the short-term game. So I really love this topic and it's so important, and if you ever feel anxious about your business, really make sure you watch this whole video. As you're building your business, some things are going to work and some things are not. And I want you to think about anything in your life that you've gotten that was kind of big. Now, when you began that journey, you probably had in your mind's eye how it was going to unfold. But how many times in life do things unfold the way we think they're going to? Probably the answer is never, right? You can even imagine how a vacation might unfold, or how this experience or an evening might unfold, and it never tends to unfold the way you think it's going to. Now, sometimes it unfolds way better than we ever could have imagined. Sometimes it unfolds not as great as we had imagined, right? And so when you're in your business, if there's one thing I can promise you, it will not unfold the way you think it's going to. It may begin to unfold that way, but because there is so much information that you do not have at this point in time, I promise you, it will not unfold as you think. And if you allow it, it will be better than you've ever imagined. However, in order for that better than you ever imagined to unfold, what I really want you to do is to trust in the long-term game. Because so often I see coaches getting upset when, one person doesn't sign up, or someone signs up and leaves, or they do a launch and it doesn't go as they thought it would, or all these things, or they wanted to speak at an event but they didn't get chosen, or this or that, and they make what my mother used to say to me: don't make a mountain out of a molehill, Jennifer. And how many people have heard that, right? And so what happens is, when you're focused on the short-term game, those things matter. And then what happens? Then you feel crappy. What happens when you feel crappy? You're out of alignment. What happens when you're out of alignment? Not much, right? You're not in the vision, you're not moving forward, and so you're just slowing down the awesomeness that is waiting for you every time you focus on what's not working in the now. So this is how, when something in the now happens, if you're focused on the long term, you're like, okay, great, what am I supposed to learn from this? How can I make this process better? Move on to the next one. And you don't even really give it much thought. You're just on to the next thing. And you see, this is a rule that all great coaches and people who run businesses, CEOs, they understand this principle, that a short-term loss, or what seems not so great, is really not a big deal in the long term. And I want to invite you to a special training that I have, because this is one of 16 rules that I've discovered over the last 4 years of working with coaches and 8 years of entrepreneurship. There are some commonalities that successful coaches and entrepreneurs know, and this is one of them, which is they're focused on the long term. They're not focused on what isn't working. They always focus on what is working and how can they improve upon things. And that's a trained skill, because when you're new, you can get highly emotional and highly charged in the things that do not work. But it's a skill to be able to learn how to let go of the stuff that doesn't work, and how to focus on the future, what you can do right now, what is working, and what's within your control, and trusting that the rest will unfold. That is a skill. And so I want to invite you to the 16 rules to magnetize your business into profitability, because these are essentially the rules that a CEO knows. These are the rules that successful coaches know and that they follow. So you're going to find the link below. So make sure you sign up for it, because I think it's really, if you liked this tip, these 16 rules are going to blow your mind, because ultimately they're going to help you stay in alignment, stay on your game, stay focused on what's working. And that allows you to bring in more of what's working. And that's what we want, right? Because that's what's going to get you the business that you want. So that's how playing the long-term games allows you to win in the short term, because when you're not worried about what's not working, or some client didn't sign up or whatever, then what happens is you're not in a negative energetic space, so you just move on to the next thing, and then the next thing works, right? And so whereas otherwise you might be stuck in this negative headspace, and it's slowing you down from allowing in the next good thing. And that's how you win in the short term, because you're not doing that. You're like, okay, whatever, moving on, next. And you're just going about your business, therefore allowing more goodness in, instead of holding on to the sort of why didn't this work, but why didn't it work? It's like dating, right? When you're really fixated on how come it didn't work with this particular person, and when you keep pining over that same person, you're blocking someone new and someone who's a better match for you from coming in. It's the same thing. So it's like kind of like your business. There's a better business model, or there's more information or better clients or whatever right over here. But if you keep focusing on what hasn't worked yet, and why not this person, and why not this, and why not that, you can't allow in the people and the resources who are waiting for you on the other side. I look over here because it's almost like having a very thin see-through veil, right? Actually, let's call it white. And as you begin to shift your focus to what's working and not sweating the small stuff in the now, that white becomes a lot clearer. And then when you stay in alignment and you just like, you focus on the long-term game, and you focus on what you can do right now, and you focus on what is working, and focus on what you're learning, then the veil comes down, and in come the resources, in come the people, in come all the good stuff that you're looking for. So I hope that this is helpful. Make sure you sign up for the next available training below. If you liked this video, I'd love for you to comment on it and share it with some friends. And let me know, like, have you ever noticed that you're playing the short-term game and you got to start playing the long-term game, right? Do you know what I mean? This is big one for a lot of people. So thanks so much for being here. Thanks so much for sharing. I look forward to your comment, and we'll see you next time.